Let's watch more.
Or sorcerer. However, if we can now meet our grandkids of the year 2100, how would we view them? We would view them as gods, like in Greek mythology.
Georgie, 2100. So exactly in 1000 years, right?
You'd like to say 100 years, not 1000.
Ah, only 100.
Well,
Crazy.
he said
2000.
100.
True, Georgie, true. And how would we treat them, our great-grandchildren?
Like gods?
Probably yes. Why?
Well, because there would be such technology we can't even imagine.
But I have a question. First question is, do you believe in his words about future?
Well, it sounds interesting, so why not?
Second question, you know that the progress is somehow slowed down nowadays. I mean about this digital technology. We slowed down a little bit. Right or wrong?
I never heard of such. But yeah, maybe this happened. I don't know. Perhaps of the global crisis.
I have such a feeling because, well, you know, each year was something new in technology. For example, a flash card, for example, a new hard drive, for example, well, a new type of mobile because it was not a button type mobile anymore. It was a screen button. We don't have such things nowadays. Don't think so?
I don't know, probably.
Okay, so I am a little bit skeptical about his words. The same with space traveling. Last space traveling really big one when we humans landed on the moon. When was it? How many years ago?
I think it was somewhere in... Wow. When did Armstrong land on the moon? I think it was either 60s or 80s.
60s, absolutely correct. So it was 60s. And now, how many years passed?
Well, looks like around 70.
Thank you. And we read with you the book 2001 Space Oddity, and Arthur Clarke was wrong, my friend. Why was he wrong?
Well, because in his book, the events were taking place somewhere in 2000s.
Good job. Good job. He was wrong. And only nowadays we are going to return to moon again. Do you believe in that returning back to the moon?
Well, I'd like to hope.
I don't have any answer, but why the progress is so slow about space traveling? Only now Elon Musk and other people would like to send a man on the moon. Why is it so slow?
Well, probably because of the tension in politics nowadays.
Correct.
People pay more attention to army.
Correct. Okay.
Zeus could control objects around him by pure thought, materialize objects just by thinking. And their perks being a Greek god. Venus had a perfect body, a timeless body. And we all begin now to unravel the genetics at the molecular level of the aging process. And then Apollo, he had a chariot that he could ride across the heavens. we will finally have that flying car that we've always wanted to have in our garage. By the year 2100, we will have the power of the gods.
Georgie, I'm pessimistic about his predictions. Please read the caption.
By the year 2100 we will have the power of the gods.
Translate.
Ну, к 2100 году у нас будут силы богов.
Okay. He gave some examples. He said about Zeus. Zeus. He said about something about goddess Venus, and he said about Apollo, right?
Yeah.
Exactly what? Do you remember?
Well, that Zeus could materialize objects by thought, that Venus had a perfect lasting body, and about Apollo I couldn't hear.
He could travel on a chariot.
Yeah.
How fast and where chariot could bring him?
Well, it was a flying chariot which could ride quite fast.
And so he said, well, about materializing things by thought, by thinking about something, we will materialize things by 2100. We will live forever because we started working on a theory of aging. And in our each garage there will be a car in which we can fly everywhere. Do you believe that?
Well, it's so gleaming.
Oh, right word. Why?
Well, it's just, it sounds as if it was too good.
Oh.
To paraphrase Arthur C. Clarke,
Wonderful! Arthur C. Clarke, please read.
Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from...
Sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from divinity. So let's now begin our story. The history of physics is the history of modern civilization. Before Isaac Newton, before Galileo, we were shrouded with the mysteries of superstition. People believed in all sorts of different kinds of spirits and demons. What made the planets move? Why do things interact with other things? It was a mystery. So back in the Middle Ages, for example, people read the works of Aristotle. And Aristotle asked the question, why do objects move to Earth? And that's because, he said, objects yearn to be united with the Earth. And why do objects slow down when you put them in motion? Objects in motion slow down because they get tired.
So, it's not a force of gravity, but it is a force of love. It's not a it's not a force of friction, but it's a force of tiredness. Am I right?
Well, about the tiredness he got it quite right. But about love it's quite silly, of course.
Good. Georgie, what kind of tiredness?
Well, I mean, of course he rephrased it, but the overall concept seems to be quite the same.
No, don't agree here with you. What kind of tiredness? It is friction.
I mean, yes, that's true. I mean, he just wrote the same stuff in other words. Maybe a little bit distorted.
Okay. Georgie, I have a